Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. I will start off by stressing one very important thing. This is not a tutorial because I really don't know much about these cameras. Basically, I know nothing about them. I've only seen a couple of videos on YouTube, and I have indeed already opened up my broken SX-70. Broken meaning that one of the mirrors was totally shattered, so it became a donor camera. What this series is, well, it's my journey into attempting a fix or an overhaul on one of these cameras. As I said in the video that I posted in the first day of this year, I have this guy. I also have this guy, and I also have, well, I have a pile of spare parts. Some are usable, some are a little bit less usable, but I also have two Polaroids SLR 680 from a friend of mine, Aaron, from Turkey, and those will be kept aside at least until I get these two fixed, because if I can't fix these two, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to fix those two. Alright, now this particular one seems to be somewhat working, but I don't even remember what's the issue with this one. Oh, it wasn't working and then it started working, and so it's very iffy. Otherwise, it's in one piece. The viewfinder seems decent, but it's super full of dust, and for the most part the dust comes from these cover leatherettes or whatever they are. Alright, this one on the other hand, the leather is pretty banged up, so I will be replacing it, and I think I will be attempting a DIY replacement, so I will cut my own panels of real leather. I might need to get some tools to cut these round corners, but that's less important now. But otherwise, it is super stiff, it is not working. This one is dented, I think, and this latch is broken. And it's full of rust. I mean, full of rust. It's like it's seen some water in its lifetime. This thing seems crooked because, see, yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. And that is the shape of the camera right now. Alright, so my plan, is to take it apart, try to obviously get rid of all that rust, rehabilitate the little motor that somewhere around here, fix the hinge, replace that latch, and I think that's pretty much it, and probably do as much as possible, or as much as I can, check, clean or restore or whatever the shutter assembly, and maybe even make a conversion to 600 film, because as far as I've seen, it's not such a big deal. It's pretty much a matter of removing, I don't know what you can see because this is a lot larger than the usual Zork is. Anyway, I need to remove this tongue, okay, but that's not for the 600 film, it's for the I-type film, as far as I've understood the situation, and also replace one capacitor from the shutter PCB with a smaller one. So this should be something like 800 picofarads, if I remember correctly, and I should replace it with a 150, 180, something like that. All right. I will try to break down the series into multiple parts because, as I've already mentioned, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I will take it step by step, and I will also need to figure things out before filming. Otherwise, it's gonna be crap, basically. What I do know is that on my SX-70, the broken one, most of the screws were the Polaroid type screws. So they are basically, they have a square profile. So you need a special screwdriver. What I did, I got this bit. Initially it was a hex driver, I think, that I filed down to a square profile, and slowly I filed down the square profile until the bit matched the screws. Some of the screws, on the other hand, are some sort of a Torx screw. So this is a T4 bit that seem to fit the other screws. So basically now I have these two that should pretty much cover whatever screws I'm going to find, and in case it throws some surprises at me, I will just get another bit and file it down until it fits, because you can't really remove them otherwise. I mean, you can, but you will kind of destroy the screws. That's what I did with my camera. Some of them were easier to remove than others, and some of them are garbage now. All right, so these things being said, first thing on the menu is removing this piece of leather, because you will find some screws beneath it that will allow you to actually remove the bottom cover. And as far as I've seen, the adhesive is quite strong. I should be using a heat gun or maybe a hair dryer. We'll see. Now, even if I'm not in, at this stage at least, I don't intend to reuse them. I have this issue with throwing away something that's even marginally good or usable. So I will try to take it off in a, let's say, civilized manner. We'll see if I can make it work or not. Oh, and by the way, yeah, this is old. This is old. It's a Romanian heat gun, soldering gun, that for some reason I prefer using over a Letcon. I don't know why. I think I'm more skilled with this than with this, although it's kind of weird because anyway. So for most parts I think I'll be using this, unless I need to work in some very small and tight spaces, in which case I will switch over to the Letcon. All right, I'm to try to separate one of the corners and then try to peel it off. Now, normally it should be, or it should have, a metallic film that has the adhesive on it. So right now, if I pull, I will pull this leatherette, because apparently it's not leather, and everything else will remain underneath it, I think. So let me see if I have this right. Yep. Oh, this is sticky. The other reason why I'm trying to take it off nicely is to use it as a template. Well, nice, but not that nice. Anyway, I'll be using a two-tone pair of gloves. No, because it's broken. Yeah, I kind of reuse the gloves, because why not? Alright, from what I see, these are the Torx screws, and the T4 fits. So that should be easy. This one has some glue inside. This one is quite loose. This one is also quite loose. Now, since I don't know what kind of screw is used in every spot in the camera, in every place, I will need to be organized. Otherwise, I won't have any idea which screw goes where. Alright, and number 4. For the time being, I'm just leaving them on the mat, and when a reasonable number of screws and parts are lined right there, I will transfer them to an organizer. And this, I think I need to open the camera. Come on. Yeah, so you need to open the camera, and then it goes like this and like this. Holy Moses. All right, talk about disasters. Now, the camera was extremely difficult to close, because look at all this mess. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. Now, on the bright side, I think, although they are not a direct match as far as I can see, I do have the board PCB, whatever this is, from my other camera. Now on this one it says it's a Model 2. Come on, you bloody rusty piece of shit. Oh no, it does not. So this is the Polaroid SX-70 lens camera. This is a Model 1. Because as far as I know, from watching that Insta guy on camera, I think that on YouTube, I think that's his nickname. From what I understood, in the Model 2 cameras, they changed this, which apparently is a piece of shit, for a paper one. Now look at these traces. Look at this copper, it's all green. So this is a bloody mess. And where are you? This is the paper one that for some reason I wasn't very careful when taking it off, but it should work. Okay, let me close this piece of garbage. Well, at least if I don't make it and if I break it, I will have a very good excuse. So it should be something like this. These match, these match, these two match, these two match, these match, and those match. So everybody matches. Maybe these won't match because these are slanted, oblique, and these are a little bit straighter. Although, no, they match. So what I'll do, I will use this instead of this, because this one, this one comes from a working camera. The camera worked, I took like 6 shots, and then my motorcycle fell over, and well, the rest is history. I was a bit sloppy when when I took it apart, but as far as I can tell, it's still in working order. Now what I'm going to do, because this is a very simple PCB, I will measure continuity between different traces. You can use it against bright light, source of bright light, and you will see the copper inside. So you can follow the traces and measure continuity between different points just to make sure that it's intact. The only thing that it has is this microchip here, but I didn't touch it in any way. So it has all the original soldering, and I will need to swap it. How I'm going to get rid of all this rust, I'm not really sure yet, but if there's a will, there's a way. This guy might be trickier to replace, and I'm pretty sure that the other side of this plate is in a similar condition. Actually, I've already seen quite a bit of rusty areas. So I think whatever I'm going to do with this camera, it will never be as clean as I would like to. But if it ends up functional, that would be enough. I intend to keep it. So yeah. All right. Let's see how to start. Well, I should be removing the door first. All right, that's easy peasy. Just push on one of the sides, and with the door removed, I can clean as much as possible this part, that part, that part, the rollers, and whatever else I can find around here. All right. And now I can see all the mess that goes all the way to the back of the camera on this side. This one will go away, so I'll have better access. And also this tab will go away. I will need to drill these two rivets and the thing will pop out. And after opening the body, I will be able to actually, if this is a Model 1, it means I can separate completely the two parts, because it should have some screws somewhere here behind the shutter mechanism, which is good. All right. But before I do that, I think I'm going to take out the motor. Now this part wasn't really explained in the videos on YouTube, but from what I've seen, he simply got something behind the motor and pulled. Now in my case, in the case of my other camera, I unsoldered these 2 points from the PCB, which were the worst of all soldering points for some reason. I think the pins of the motor, the 2 pins are like small hooks, so I simply couldn't pull the PCB from the terminals for some reason. Okay, and I also removed these 2 springs so I could have access to the connecting thingy, plastic thingy, and to the spring. Now what I'm talking about, these are things that I recuperated from the other camera. So this is the original motor on my camera that I have already refurbished, meaning that I took it apart, and you'll see when I get to this one. So this one sits like this. This part is springy. Now on the end of the spring, normally there is this plastic connector. Now this plastic connector can break, and does break, as far as I've seen in these videos. And what the guy does, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, Eric, I think it's Eric. Anyway, if he sees these videos sometimes, please excuse me, I didn't catch your name. What, let's call him Eric, does is pull on the spring so that the spring gets extended in the middle part. Basically, compensating for this, and he throws this away, because if this breaks you'll need to open the camera again. Normally this little thing goes, I think, like this. Let me check. Yes, like this, and the end is connected to that post or spindle. Now if you take this away and you just extend the spring, you can use the end of the spring to connect to the spindle, just the way this used to connect to the spindle, because both of them, the spring has its end like this in the middle, and the plastic thing also has a cutout, a vertical cutout of sorts, them here. So the attachment to the spindle should be pretty much identical. Now I could use this motor, or I could overhaul this one, and that's what I'm going to do, because it's basically part of the fun. So if I pull on, I'm not really sure how. Let's see. I don't remember how he does it, but I think he uses a tool of some sort. Maybe if I pull on the, oh yeah, like this. Alright, and now you can do it like that, and then you would need to open it from here. Obviously it's a lot easier to do this with the entire engine removed, or motor removed. Okay, because it also has another clamp on the other side, and that is a lot trickier to access. Obviously he did it so many times that he makes it look very easy. Okay, and again here. And there it goes. So this is the housing, this is the rotor, and this dark deposit on the rotor is the thing that impedes the flow of electricity, and that reduced flow of electricity means that the motor will not spin as nice as it should. All right, now all this struggle was kind of useless, because I'll need to unsolder this part anyway. Okay, now by doing what I did, I forced the spring out of shape. I will bend it back, hopefully. If not, I do have a replacement, but that is one of my problems. The amount of spare parts that I have is extremely limited. Now the bend that I just did is not a problem, because this should be here. the other end on the other post, so it's not going to do much, because if I put it like this, it's straight again. Okay, but just just in case, or just as an idea, you need to be careful. All right, and this is the plastic connector. Looks good to my eyes. All right. Let's do the motor first. His suggestion is to use a power drill. I don't have a power drill, I have the Dremel, and to use it to get the shaft inside, and then a piece of sandpaper to remove that debris. He uses the power drill in reverse, so that all these windings wouldn't unwind. Now I can't put this in reverse, so I'll use it normally, but I did it once, it was okay. I hope it will be okay the second time. If not, should it fail, I do have a good working motor. Oh, let's make a test, because I'm curious. So I am going to unsolder the other part, because I want to test the motor and see how it sounds before doing anything to it. So here you are. I'm just pulling on it because it doesn't matter anymore. This is all trash, so I don't need to be very careful. Please excuse my soldering skills that are non-existent. Okay, that was a total barbaric approach, but it doesn't really matter. And this thing, I don't know what that thing is. This black thing is something. I mean, it's a component, an electronic component. I don't know what kind of component. One leg is connected to this pin, the other leg, the one with the red insulation, is connected to the other pin. while on my other end motor there's nothing. That's weird. It has the same code. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know, we'll see. I'll just leave it attached because it probably has a purpose. All right. And I'm going to test it. With this. So I have that battery pack. That I can use to test the little motor, and I will be touching one of the leads on one of the pads and the other lead on the other pad via my little tweezers. It's not really easy to do this. That's the sound. Alright, now let's see how it will be sounding after I'm done with it. Alright, nice and shiny. Nice and shiny. This is IPA, so alcohol to wipe any potential dust that remain there. And I'm going to also use some of this stuff. And this stuff is moly powder combined with oil, so my shutter oil. And I kind of use it because I thought that even if the oil would somehow, I don't know, disappear, dissipate anything, the powder would still be covering the walls of whatever I'm using it on. So I'll be using it here just a little bit, and there, basically on the pivoting points. Okay, and now it's time to put this guy back. Those two are the little brushes, so you need to get the small shaft in the middle, and then slowly put the brushes aside so that that copper core can go in between the brushes. When putting this guy back, that I should maybe also clean a bit. Yeah. You'll have a bit of a problem because since these two are magnets, it will pull on one side the entire assembly, and that end that goes in between the brushes has the tendency to jump out. Let's just say to jump out. All right. So you need to kind of guide it until it's in the correct position. Check that it turns. All right. And let's see how it sounds now. If I can convince it. Quite a bit of a difference, right? Alright, this guy is back to life. And I think that would be enough for one go, because basically the easy part, this was the easy part. The next part will be straight off removing this nasty PCB, and then I think I will be addressing the broken latch problem. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And also I'll be actually taking the camera apart even more. Alright, thank you. I hope it wasn't really boring. I mean, I guess watching someone breaking his neck and fail is not really boring. It should be good fun, right? But yeah, hopefully by the end of this series I'll be having my very own functional silver SX-70, and I really hope I'm not going to mess it up. I will be seeing you next time. Bye.